another full day of vlogging in Amsterdam, and as you can see from some of the things going on in the background, we are at an art museum today. So if anybody is familiar with the ever-famous Van Gogh, we're going to be checking out some of his work today, hopefully learning a little bit of history about the man himself. Did I say is our designated tourist day? Because I feel like that's kind of what we're doing. Today we have an action-packed schedule, a lot of fun stuff coming up, and so hopefully we're going to be able to film a lot of it. I don't know what the museum rules are exactly here or at the next place that we're going, but I'm going to do my best to capture as much as I can for you guys today, so get ready to get artsy. Friends, so we have just finished up our morning adventures, and unfortunately I was correct on my suspicion that we could not take any photography or videos inside the Van Gogh Museum. Got some higher hopes for the Moco, but I thoroughly enjoyed my experience. I feel like I learned a lot. How about you?
It was cool.
I've seen some Van Gogh paintings before. Apparently I've been saying it wrong my whole life. Story of my life in Dutch pronunciation. Not been great so far, but it was interesting learning about, you know, his life, and obviously I had already heard about like the famous ear incident, and I had thought that he committed suicide, but confirming his whole history and also learning about his techniques and things like that is very interesting. So I was telling Craig earlier that I thought his take on like portraits was pretty cool, because usually a portrait is just intended to like capture a subject, but I felt like he added another dimension to it, and with like a layer of personality, whereas like art portraits usually just more formal, like, I mean they can be, I guess. So I don't know, it just seemed like it added another layer of personality and flair to whoever the subject of the painting was, and he seemed like he was very ahead of his time since he was mid to late 19th century, so pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see how it compares to the Moco, which is behind us right now. We're about to go inside, because this is specifically a modern art museum, and I think Van Gogh was considered a modern artist for his time. Don't you think so? So anyway, but before we head inside the Moco, I just thought I would show you the difference in the architecture of the two buildings. It's kind of interesting to compare them. So we have the Van Gogh, I'll never get it right, over here. And you can see it's very modern on the outside, lots of glass and smooth stonework, and just like the shape of the building itself is very interesting. And then over here we have the Moco, which is in like a Victorian style house. I mean, it doesn't look anything like a museum. It looks like it could be someone's abode, but there are some like statues and things that you can see on the outside. And there's a Mickey over there. I think he's got like a butt on his face or something like that. So different than the Mickey I am used to. Should be a totally different experience. Okay, so I forgot to tell you one thing about the Van Gogh Museum. So we noticed a lot of really famous works while we were there. The sunflowers. We learned about a couple new ones too. What was the potato one called, Craig? Potato family? Potato dinner? Potato peasants?
I don't know.
Something.
Peasants eating potatoes? Peasants
eating potatoes, something like that. In any case, there were some really famous pieces that he's done naturally. However, one that was missing was the Starry Night, and Craig and I looked it up afterwards, and it turns out that it's in the Museum of Modern Art, which is in New York City. So if you are coming here expecting to see that, don't get your hopes up. Although we saw lots of prints of it. There's one just over there in the park hanging on the side. So a replica, obviously, but just want to let you know that. And also, before we get too far into this other museum as well, we did have a very good lunch at a Mediterranean restaurant called La Pompa, I think. Pompa. And so we had some spaghetti bolognese, no, sorry, lasagna bolognese, and then a couple of tapas as well. So very Mediterranean, but not too filling. So we shared everything. Appropriately filling, sorry.
Are you
No, I'm not.
Then not
It wasn't too filling. We have some disagreements about that. We're gonna go in the Moco now. Just finished up our tour of the Moco Museum. What'd you think, Craig?
It was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot different than the Van Gogh Museum. A lot more creative liberties taken. So definitely very political. But I feel like I learned a bit about Banksy, which was interesting.
Yeah.
I really didn't know much about him other than he was an anonymous artist. But I looked up a little bit while we were in there, and apparently he was born in the 70s. I thought he was more like a millennial or like an older millennial, but apparently he's been making art since the early 2000s, as some of those things were dated in there. So and he's British. I didn't know where he was from, and they even actually list who his wife is online, so I'm just like curious how he remains anonymous. Like,
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know, kind of confusing. But they did have some works from other modern artists as well, like Andy Warhol, who I actually didn't know anything about really either, except that he's an artist. And I think I always confuse him with Andy Griffith, and I don't know why.
That's
I mean, they're two men named Andy who are American, and that's plenty in common, right? I don't know. Anyway, I will say one of the cool things that they have here at the Moco is an interactive app. Basically, you hold your smartphone up to one of the paintings, and they usually have an indicator saying to do it, and it makes like this interactive experience on your screen next to the painting or drawing or whatever it is. So that was pretty cool. I got a video of it, so probably checking it out right now. I think my favorite piece that we saw in there was the one that was the crucified Jesus with bags.
Oh yeah.
That one hit pretty hard.
Yeah. Hit pretty home.
It hit me so home. No, it hit me pretty hard, a little close to home, especially considering we're in the holiday season right now. And so it's just like a good reminder that Christmas isn't all about gifts and shopping and Cyber Monday, even though I did have a really good Cyber Monday this year.
You're a terror.
You're a terror. I got your Christmas gift on Cyber Monday. Yeah, you're welcome. So we don't really know what's going on at this point in the day. We have another experience lined up a couple hours from now that has to do with some drinking, as we do, as you know we do at this point. But we're just gonna kind of mosey our way over and just kind of see what we find.
Einstudiert aber. Also nur einnehmen. Was hast du denn noch? Haben wir eine Waffe?
Okie dokie. So, in between our adventure times, I have found a waffle stand, or as I think they say here, Vafel? I don't know. It seems like that's how they pronounce W's, and I'm just appropriating things. I'm sorry, I'm terrible, I know. But I love Nutella waffles. Little known fact. So we're gonna taste test this bad boy. It cost me €3.50, and I'm real excited because my favorite waffle in all of Europe is in London on Oxford Street, and nothing can beat that. So we're about to find out. It might be really hot and I might be in pain. We're about to see what happens. It's really good. I don't think it beats the one in London, but I do enjoy it a lot. Crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside, drenched in Nutella. If you don't like Nutella, we might not be able to be friends. It's one of my most favoritist food groups for dessert. So, any case, this is a win. Try the Vafels. Alright guys, welcome to our evening activity. We are at the Heineken Experience here in Amsterdam, and while I can't say that I drink Heineken regularly, it is from Amsterdam, and so we are gonna learn about how it's made and also hopefully taste some of it. So hopefully there's some fun facts coming for you soon. And I'm sorry you can't taste it, but you can also go to your local store and get yourself a Heineken and drink along if you like.
Barley, we only keep the liquid, and the liquid has a name in Dutch. We call it wort. And wort is the basis of beer. However, it does not yet taste like beer.
Ooh, personalized bottle. Let's do that one. That one looks more hipster.
What am I personalizing? Oh man, that's exactly what I was getting ready to do.
Hold it. You missed it.
I'm holding. I'm holding. Apparently I need to keep holding.
Is it even a tourist attraction if it doesn't end in a gift shop?
Absolutely not.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Hi again, friends. We are leaving the Heineken Experience and
The Heineken Experienced. Someone experienced the heck out of the Heineken.
I've had a couple of beers, okay?
Yeah?
It's okay, okay?
Okay.
I am of the legal drinking age. Thank you, sir. Clearly I liked it. How did you feel?
Maybe not as much as you.
I just never drink Heineken, so it's very interesting. Yeah, stamp of approval, although I can't say that I learned a ton about Heineken. I feel like the biggest thing I learned was that they like to party.
We like to party.
We like to party. Does that work for you?
Yeah, it was definitely the least informational brewery /
yeah, and like it wasn't a personal tour, so we didn't have it like an official tour guide.
Yeah,
we just like
went stop to stop.
Yeah, but they had like, I don't know, it was kind of like a, what do they call those, like cattle lines, like, you know, when they just feed the people through. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, something like that. Cattle call? I don't remember. But basically like that. We were just like cattle streaming through these hallways, learning about Heineken, and then receiving
How much they like to party.
And how much they like to party. It was wild. So it kind of concludes our official planned activities for the trip. So we're gonna do some more exploring. Craig has a fun liquor store that we're gonna stop and take a peek in, and then we might go grab some dinner. Hello. So we have made it home for the night, and it feels good to be in my bed. It's been a long day. Where did we leave off? I think we were just leaving the Heineken Experience when we last said hi to you. And sorry if you hear rogue noises in the background. Craig is eating some Burger King. Hi, Craig.
Hi.
Which Burger King is conveniently located right next to our hotel. It's attached, same building. So good late night food in Europe. Anyway, so we left the Heineken Experience, and I think our first endeavor was to go find some either wine or whiskey to bring home. So we stopped by a liquor store, which seemed to have like a really big selection, and then we found nothing, especially Scotch. Like they had wines and stuff, but I don't know, Scotch is so expensive in the United States, and so we were just very, very hopeful that we would find some good Scotch to bring home that's a little less expensive. But alas, we did not. So we moseyed on down to dinner, and we actually tried Indonesian food. We found a restaurant in the De Pipe area, which I have finally learned how to say. Just as we're, halfway through our trip, we're learning how to pronounce things, so maybe by the time we leave we'll be experts, who knows. But Indonesian food was actually really, really good. So this came as a recommendation from one of my college sorority sisters who now lives in Belgium, and she's taken some trips over to Amsterdam, and she told us that apparently Indonesia used to be a Dutch colony, and so that's why there's a lot of Indonesian restaurants in Amsterdam. So it was like, I've never even thought to try Indonesian food before, and so I'm always game for an adventure, and we really, really liked it. I think the name of the dish I had was just the special platter or something like that, and it came with chicken satay, which has the most delicious peanut sauce on it. Like, ugh, chef's kiss. Fabulous. And Craig had something that was kind of like a beef stew. Do you remember what it was called?
No, it's just beef something.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked delicious though, and I did taste it, and it tasted delicious as well, so all good. And we had an appetizer that it looked like a donut, kind of like in a ring shape, but it was like garlic bread, which came with this kind of honey mustard-like sauce, and also very good. I was really impressed. The only pitfall was that they didn't serve alcohol. I feel like I'm constantly talking about alcohol. I am not an alcoholic. I like to have a glass of wine with dinner or a beer, nothing more than the average American usually gets. So sorry if that's coming off weird. But I'm going to keep talking about alcohol. Listen, it was a Saturday night, guys, so we go out and have a good time. We don't have kids yet, so we like to check things out and have a good old time. Maybe the best thing of the trip so far, and honestly it's really sad because, we're in the Netherlands, and here we go, we're going to talk about Scotch, which is from Scotland, but we found the best Scotch bar ever. Oh my gosh. It's called Whiskey Cafe L&B, and they have I think they said over 2,000 bottles of whiskey on site there. I mean, it's incredible, and the prices were very reasonable. They had this huge binder of things that were available, and it took us like 20 minutes each time we decided what we were going to get. And Scotch pours are not huge. They're like 2-finger pours on the side of a dram glass. So not too big. So as soon as you get one, you got to start researching the next one because you're going to be ready soon. But we closed the bar down because we didn't close the bar down. It felt that way though in my heart. It was late. It's now 2:30, I think. And it's time for bed. So we're going to sign off here and get some good rest now. But all in all, lots of good finds today. It's been a long day, my goodness. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to another vlog on my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Be sure you hit that subscribe button before you head on out of here, and I will see you next Wednesday in my next vlog. Have a good night, guys.